Alright, just going to do a little training flight here, and I like to stream it because it actually sends it straight to YouTube and I don't have to record it and compile it. It's actually a lot easier on frame rates to stream it rather than record it. But anyhow, I haven't really done much BMS flying lately, so I put together a little training mission here to work on several different things, and it's pretty complex, but again, the idea here is just to get kind of back into shape and working on some sensor work, planning, timing. I do a little refueling here, some work in the target area, and recover as well. I put some weather in here, real world weather, so there is a bit of weather out in this area here, works its way up to the north a little bit. Recovery might have a little bit of inclement, or not inclement, but reduced weather, reduced visibility, stuff like that, but for the most part it should be pretty good weather-wise. So again, the elements of this are just going to be to get familiar again with some planning. We're going to do some refueling, align the Mavericks with the targeting pod, engage some targets with the Mavericks, and we're going to do a little either high altitude dive bomb work with some Mark 82s, or we'll do a DTOS. We'll see how that goes. And then mission timing's critical because I have set up an intercept out here, so it kind of forces me to stay good with my timing and work on that. And the target area, well, first of all, down here we got the tanker, Camel 1, and we're going to be refueling there inside MOA 26. And then I've created a steer point 5 here inside of MOA 27. That's going to be for, well, I thought I did. Hang on, Max. I already did this once. I don't know why it didn't save. I'll do it again. Maybe you have to actually select a game, and you can't just type it in there automatically. Let's take a look. And I guess the other thing I'm working on here is this OBS. I've set up a bunch of different windows and overlays, so I'm working on that as well. Yeah, it did not accept the game, so I guess I have to type in Falcon 4. There it is. Okay. Thanks, Max. I typed it in manually, but it didn't like it earlier, so it must have dropped out. But everything else looks to be good. So yeah, I'm also working with OBS here as well, and working on overlays, just trying to make things much more simple with either recording or streaming. Anyhow, back to the mission. So we'll align the Mavericks here, small town, this area here, just a few buildings, visibility permitting, and then we'll reach steer 6, and hopefully we've got contact with the ground. I put it there for a reason. We got a visual run into the target area with the river there. So we'll push on time, and then once I get in the target area, I'm engaging an SA3 with AGM 65 deltas, and this is about an 8.5 mile ring. That's an engagement ring. I've modified that in Weapons Delivery Planner. This is about the range that they'll launch. However, that's without jamming, so I can squeeze in here maybe a couple more miles, and I should be able to launch by 10 miles and get the target. The idea is to get the tracking, the flap lid radar, take that out, and then I can go from there and attack targets. But before I engage, I want to basically find all my targets first, and the way I do this is I set up a little orbit, or I call it a, like in CAS, a wheel. I call it a little Mav wheel. So we'll proceed up here from steer 7, and we'll enter an arc about 15 miles out. I don't want to fly up here to the north side, so what I'll do is I'll get to this point over here, and then I'll just do reversal away from the target. And we'll just arc around here with TGP. We'll mark all of our targets, starting with the tracking radar, and then once we make contact, things will get busy. So I'll have all the targets marked and hopefully can find them quickly using CCRP, then switch over to the DTOS or dive bomb and go from there. Threats in the area: SA-7s, or the HN-5, the Chinese version, SA-13. Shilkas, 57 and 23 millimeter guns, small arms fire, and of course those surface-to-air missiles. So there are threats in the area. That's why we want to keep our distance both laterally and vertically. If I do a high altitude dive bomb, I'll start at 20 and try to come out around 15, and hopefully not get within 3 miles of the target. Now, I have not reconned this because I want to use my radar initially to find the targets. Pretty easy since it's on the airfield. But yeah, I just didn't want to set any pre-planned threats. I wanted to make it challenging. So, as if we got called up there to pick up a threat that's just popped up from intel or something like that. So that's the idea. Engaging the target, I don't really want to engage it from this direction. So I'll try to do my run-in from the south if I can. The other thing that's nice is I've got Redneck's ICP. Looks just exactly like this, and it is really easy to do everything you need to do. Also, remember, I'm pretty rusty at this. I haven't done an air-to-ground mission, I don't know, in months, so that's really the reason for all this practice. So, all right, let's see what's next. All right. Well, that didn't, yeah, there it is. Nose 45, one single. Profile 2, nose 2, and should be 30. And 45, yeah, it's in there. The other thing to note here is this is a, you can see I've got it's a little bit of an imbalance load, but the weight is almost identical, the three 65s and the three Mark 82s, unless I looked incorrectly at the screen, it's identical. So if anything, it might pull a little bit to the left. We'll be ready for that. Otherwise, should be pretty much normal. All right. Okay, flight plan looks good. Oh, why those Patriots are in red. Must be the way, must be whenever I was in the, well, they're in red because I'm in it, but that's what it is. Okay, yeah, see, I'm rusty. Man, I tell you what, these MFDs and ICP is just amazing. Let's see. MSL4, whoops, wrong one. 10 and let's make sure we're going to make our time on target here. I think you mode select that. Yep. So system time is 04. Departure is 15. So we got 10 minutes. Let's see if we can play around here a little bit. List, destination, sequence, and target steer point is shit. Target steer point is 8. So let's go. Off a steer point 8. What I'm basically going to do is, if you saw there in the beginning, well, my mouse won't go over it, but if you look at the HSD, I created a line that goes, if you look on the HSD, it's running north, well, it's running up and down, which is east and west. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put an offset aim point at each one of those points so I can get a visual mark that'll show up inside my HUD when I'm getting near those limits. And I'm going to actually use that for my attack limits. So I want to keep within my attack coordinates or quadrant. Let's go. So what we're going to do then is we're going to come off of, if you look at the DED, and I'll see if I can, I don't know which one freezes it, so we'll just have to look with the eyes here. So let's see, we're going to come off the DED at, let's say, 15 miles. Let's just do 10 to make it easy. That'll be about, let's see, 60,000 feet. So let's just say roughly 60,000 feet. Bearing from steer point 8 of 250. And I'm going to be operating at 15,000, so we'll go 15,000 feet. That's the southwest corner. And then we'll go 60,000 feet. A bearing of, let's go 160. And again, an elevation of 15,000. So that will, if you look here, not at the breakout, but the actual, that'll put me somewhere. You'll see a triangle here. You're going to see a triangle here, and that's again when I was doing the briefing there to kind of keep me inside that quadrant and not releasing bombs over the city, so forth. All right, that's enough play. Let's get things going here. Starboard chocks. Okay, there's 3019 and field elevation on the chart is 110. And that looks good. Let's see if we can pause it. Nope. My pause is not working, so sorry, you're going to have to deal with my track IR. Alright, we don't have much time, so let's get going. Got a lot of things going on here with the computer here, so quite a bit to for the processor to handle. I'm streaming. I got two different windows open on YAME, so we'll see how well it does. Okay, so off to our right here is 20, but this is NOTAMed closed, so we're going to have to go this way and taxi out and then back taxi. Oh, you know what? I bet I've got my brake axis reversed. Oh well. Told you it's been a while since I've flown. Nothing like trying to land and release the pedals to brake. So this ought to be fun. Alright, that's one squawk. Hang on a second here. There is two. So it'd just be easy enough to go off of runway 2. And the other thing is, well, my rudder pedals need to be secured better, so we're going to do some caster turning here. Otherwise my pedals are sliding, so got some work to do here. And this is even harder to do because I've got to push the pedals in, so if I get out of here with a good takeoff, it'll be amazing. So I just got to be airborne there then before the last 1,000 feet of this departure ends, so should be good. We got lots of times to get the Mavs warmed up because we're going to refuel first, so I need to power those on. So a couple of things here that's nice with this ICP. Okay, I'm dimming the HMCS with the knob on the ICP. Now I'm also doing the HUD the same way. And the other two is the depression reticle and then the contrast for the FLIR. So I can do all of those, which is nice. I hope I don't have a balance issue with this fuel. Because of not adding the wing tanks full, we'll see. I won't be doing much comms here. The main thing is just to focus on flying, and then later on I can look back at this, or it could be watched by someone else. I don't know why. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, it's not working. It's going to take me a while to get lined up with this screwed up rudder. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh boy. Now you can see the carrot is pretty darn close, and I actually did the brake release at almost right on schedule. They're a little screwed up with the with my brakes, unfortunately, which will probably lead to a crash on landing. But yeah, planned climb was about 360 Mach 0.8 until at least we get to the refuel point. So I'll set a little bit under military power here and just pitch for speed. Okay, quick ops check. Coming up out of the haze. Alright, let's switch over to 13. No AWACS on this mission, so boy, let me see if I'm gonna have stick control problems here. Nope. Like I said, there was some patchy weather in and out of here, so it we'll see some frequent changes. Okay, quick ops check. Let's look and see. Fuel at steer point 4 is going to be 5.2. Wonder if I want to just kick the rudder here real quick and okay. All right. We'll go ahead. Since we're refueling, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set right now simply about 3,000. And that would be just a return to base from the tanker. It looks like what I've got is I've got just a little bit, this is hands-off stick. I've got just a little bit of lean to the left because of the Mavericks being just about 150 pounds heavier than the Mark 82s on the other side. Let me just climb it 300. chuckling because I don't see the tanker on the radar, but let's see, it's a little too much. Okay. Now, hopefully it'll hold altitude here as it orbits. I'm just going to let it orbit on its own. We're just going to hold here at steer 3 until the tanker gets here, which is going to be, looks the clock, in 7 minutes. So once once we reach steer 4, we should see this caret go way down if everything was done correctly. Okay. Maybe if I go to the next steer point, the caret goes down. Yeah, it goes way down. That's it. This autopilot's got a nice steep bank. Usually they're 30 degrees. It's 45. So what I'm going to do is just one orbit here, and then I should be able to do a decent turn on the tanker, but he has to hit his first steer point. Which is right around here. So I won't talk to him until he's maybe midways up here. Alright, weapons are safe for now. And we'll configure the rest whenever we get up to the tanker. I don't have a detent for afterburner here, so old school, I guess. Okay, that's ready. Okay, you should be coming up on the radar here. Let's do this my way. We'll just do it that way. A little more stable. 2-minute turn here. He's going to be on station in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So actually at our speed, this is more of a standard rate turn here, which I think is what the autopilot does, is it goes for a standard rate turn. Better increase that bank. He's getting up there pretty quick. Now, I don't know if I call. He's going to stay, I think, within like 15 or 20 miles of that that anchor point. If I call him on the outbound leg, I think he'll just continue outbound, and I can just jump right in behind him. But I'm not for sure on that. If I call him, he may immediately turn back towards the anchor and start his run. off here. There he is. In 10 miles here. This is going to be a little close. I'm not ideally set for the turn on the tanker yet, but we'll do our best here. Okay, I'm going to request fuel and see what he does. I kind of jack this up, but we'll make it work. Since there's nobody in formation with me, it's not a big deal. We'll just burn right up there and get right up next to him. Lights off. Radar standby. I don't remember if that, you know what, we should be at 2992. That might be the problem. But no, that puts us even lower. That may be I don't know what that altitude is they're referencing in the UI. Okay, so sorry, I'm doing a couple things here. We're getting behind. Now let's see. Desired time of steer is 43, so I got about 8 minutes to refuel. The radar is still showing closure even though I've turned it off. we go. Oops, I have not turned it off. I need to go silent. Shit, not paying attention. Looking at shit going on in my computer. I might not be able to do this. I've got a super sensitive stick now. Stick is super sensitive. You can see by just how jittery it is, but I've got a pressure stick, and if I don't make it somewhat light, it really hurts the arms. The shoulders more like it. I may have to dial out the sensitivity a little bit. Not bad for the first refuel in 6 months. See, if I'm burning 10,000 pounds an hour while I'm maneuvering, let's say, and I need 20 minutes, that's about 7,000 pounds of fuel, plus my bingo. So we need to be full. Whoa. You can see where it gets tricky with the sensitivity. I mean, I'm not even moving my wrist. I'm just applying a little bit of pressure on each side, and that is it. So now I'm hands off. I'm not even touching the stick. Just to bump it to stay level, or to stay with the proper pitch and bank. There, that's hands off. Still got a little lean to it because of the asymmetrical load there. Okay, another 1,000. RWR off earlier, not the radar. All right, let's see what's what here. Okay. Let's see. New bingo is 6. All right. Let's proceed. Steer 5. We are about 2 minutes behind schedule. Okay. Oh shit. I don't recall turning those Mavericks on. I must have had a pre-power up steer point, so we've lost a little bit of time with the Mavs, it looks like. And this weather, I am going to have to go down to do this bore sight. Belly check. All right, let's take it to 10. Okay, targeting pod. Weapon. Simulate. Mavs on. Uncage. Narrow field of view. All we have to do is bore sight one station, which is nice. Let's see what that is. That's way over there. Let's do a cursor 0. Alright. I don't like burning gas down here. To keep it moving towards the target area here, because we're behind schedule now. I've got a lower true airspeed because I'm down closer to the ground. We're gonna have to push it up. I see my target. I'm gonna take the power off these Mavs again. Get up just to the base of this layer here. Alright, what do we got here? Steer 5. Let's see what steer 8 looks like. 8 tons and my bingo is 6. Not 8 tons, sorry, 8,000. Now let's see what it is. Yeah, that's better. Alright, bring the power back a little bit. Should start to see something come into view here. Luckily, I only have one station to do, so I'm not going to need much time here. In fact, if I go to cruise and then I go to time over steer point, and sequence up to 8. I'm 5 minutes late, but that's not going to penalize me because it goes within a certain range, so it should work out okay. So like if you're doing a search and destroy, you'll reach your time on target like within 10 or 15 miles of that steer point. But still, let's go to Black Hot and see. Still a little far out. Guess I'm my own worst enemy with this weather. Jeez. I think I got fair weather. This is not fair. This is the one just below it. I think I got that like 10 miles maybe. But the weather should be good at the target area, so. Oh, for Christ's sake. There we go. Okay, bring the Mavericks online. There it is. Let's go over here. I think we'll have a better chance of locking that little guy up. Put that in area mode, less sensitive. Alright. Where's sight? Unlock. Good handoff. Mavericks to standby. Looks good. Let's climb back up to altitude here. Just going to take it up to 15,000 till we get some bluer skies above. Alright, off. Mavericks are off. Alright, let's see how bad it is. Target 4 minutes late, so we're going to be pushing directly, so let's skip the push point. go ahead and take it up here where I get a better true airspeed, a little less fuel burn. Okay, steer 8, still about 4 minutes behind. Let's do a cursor 0 here too. That's good enough. Let's just build some speed. So looking at this DED, and I'll show you what I'm looking at here. If I go to steer point 8, and then I come over here to VRP, I'm sorry, I don't even need to do that. You can see the caret for the southeast side, and you can see the offset aim point for the southwest side. So I'm just using those, and I should be able to see those in the HUD as I'm arcing back and forth between those 2 points. And that's so I don't have to constantly look down at my HSI. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that as a reference. We set 160 from this side, and I use the heading bug for 250. So I basically want to stay between those 2 bearings to the target. And that's my visual reference is the offset aim points out there. So just another way to use those. Use them for whatever you want. I've also got them at the same altitude that that I'm going to be flying at, or at least arcing at. Now those will be there until you take them out. If you were going to use like a VRP, then you would mode select, and that would turn inverse video by hitting mode select, and then you would have to be in CCRP mode, and then you'd have to have that waypoint selected. I think, yeah, it doesn't matter what waypoint I select here, those are visible. So, how are we looking now? Beautiful. Less than 2 minutes now. Fuel's not too bad. If I run, let's say if I run, okay, there's mud 3. We better go ahead and get fenced in here. That's not bad. So if I go to steer 8, I'm only 1 minute behind, so. And actually, I'm good because I'm going to be at steer 7 2 minutes before the target, so that's good. Well, they know we're here, but they don't know we're after them yet, so. So what I'm going to do when I do this attack is I'm going to attack from 2 quadrants. I'm going to arc this way until I find my target, then I'm going to attack. Then I'm going to come back straight to the south, arc this way, and attack this way. So I'm going to kind of do a figure 8, if you will, in and out, rather than coming in from the same direction each time. Okay, I don't need that anymore. Let's see, fenced in, fuel. Countermeasures, lights. You'd also want tank inerting, but that doesn't work. and bring the pod air to ground. Okay, so I'm looking for a flap lid, and I don't think I'm going to get all my targets here. 20 minutes to do all this, I just don't know is enough time, so. Alright, so let's go ahead and press to the target. I'm going to flow now towards this point here. This is where I'm going to enter, I guess. I am going to bring, should get fairly decent visibility now. So I want to orbit at 15 miles, or arc I should say. So I'm going to start a turn about 20 miles out, so that when I roll out I'll be 15 miles. No reason to jam now. They're not going to launch on me this far, I don't think. That might give them an idea what I'm up to as well. So this is a no-go until I get the flap lid, and I have no idea where it's at, so I've got to look for it and find it. No pre-planned threats here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create steer points here. If I remember correctly, the first one I create should be 71, 72, 73, etc. So that's interesting. I don't recall 2 SA3s. I don't know what the fuck. This might be a short mission. Okay. And what the hell? Alright. So let's go ahead. And I'm going to set myself up here. Let's go into the air to ground mode here. Alright, I'm offset 90 degrees. And when I get to a bearing of about, well, we're at it right now, so I should be able to just do a, let's do it away from the target though. We don't want to give him an idea of what's going on here. So while I'm doing this, I can look around. There's a truck. It's not going to work till I get pointed the other way. So what I do when I'm doing this is I use this bearing to target, this target locator line. Right now my bearing to target's 120, 110. And what I'm simply going to do is set it to about 90. And then put in about a 5-degree bank here. And that should keep my distance. What I'll do also is I'll hold altitude and I'll just, there we go. Let the autopilot fly and try not to drift any closer than 15. Now, where is the flap lid? There it is. Okay, so first thing we'll do is go to mark point page. Mark point 26. Now that's when you send them, is at 71. Okay. So that's good. Now let's go find some launchers. Is that another radar? I may need the fire control radar for this, we'll see. Okay. Let's get out of mark point. Let's cursor 0 back here. See, my bearing is not quite at 250 yet, and you can see my points coming up out here. So as long as I'm kind of pitching in here, though, I only got a 70-degree bearing to the target. I need to stay at 90. If you look on my RWR there, you can see that I'm continuously just basically beaming the target. And if I remember correctly, they like to place these things, these launchers, way out. This might be a little hard to do. Might have to go out and get a radar picture here. Alright, cursor 0 again. Where the fuck are they? That's TV. Did I go past my point? Getting close here. Well, I think I'm going to take out this. Actually, would be a good way to find the launcher is just have him launch at me. Alright, let's go ahead and take out this first launcher. Let's see, cursor 0. And let's go to steer point 26. Watch where you're going, asshole. That is the guy. Okay. We're 21 miles out, so I'm going to set up a little bit of a flank. I'm doing that for 2 reasons. So I'm not directly approaching the target. It gives me a quick escape, turning away, and it's also giving me some closure here. So the trick to this Mav wheel or arc or whatever is to not lock up the target until you are basically got your cursor on your Maverick in launch parameters. So let's see, if time on target is 6, I've got about 18 minutes. 18 minutes? No. Not even 13. Alright. Music's on, so don't want to point straight at him until I'm pretty much ready to launch. Okay, here we go. Target's locked. Handoff. Music's on. Rifle. Music off. Now we're climbing away at about 140, bearing from the target. So that's like it's not a drag. Forget what you call it. The idea is to get out here back to about 15 miles. I'm way slow. And then re-enter the arc. I'm going to flow away now that I've got a missile off. As long as it hits the radar, I'm going to flow away now because I may need to use my fire control radar just to find these launchers. Okay, SA-3 is down. Alright, I have got 15 minutes. No, sorry, 10 minutes. Where in the hell would those things be? See the guns. Okay, that is just not going to work. All right. Okay, another trick is I'm going to change my azimuth so I get a quicker scan, and then I'm going to offset so it's not, let's go steer point 8, enter, so it's not going directly. I'm basically trying to reduce my closure by offsetting, and then there we go. Is that one of them? Nope. Ah, there it is. Mark point. Okay. Mark point. Let's see, getting low. Distance to target is 16. Go. A whole bunch of fucking mark points, but alright, so let's go back to steer point 27. Cursor 0. Okay, fuel's at 8. Let's keep it in close. See, I'm on bearing to the target now of 240, so I got to go back to the east, which is perfect. I don't like being this slow. Let's get some altitude back. Setting my offset from the target to 90 degrees. Now that I got these marked, I should be able to just go in and take out 2 of them real quick. Okay, so let's go steer point 27, 28. Okay, so we may have to do that again. So 27 and 28, though, we're good. Let's see, there's 27, 28. Yeah, no, those are messed up. Okay. Okay, let's roll in. Music's on. Alright, this is good anyway. We'll get these 2 right here, then we'll come out and we'll set up for the dive bomb. All I have to worry about are these man pads, and as long as I don't get too close, I should be good. Okay, should have a good handoff here. We do. Shit, that's why it's not working. It needs to be in the narrow field of view. There's the handoff. Launch. And I only had, did I only have 2 or 3? Ah, boy, there's a boo-boo. Alright, so let's take it on up to altitude now. And profile 1. I think I may have sent 2 missiles by accident, which sucks. It'll be a very dead launcher, but I gotta be careful now. We're getting to the alright, how are we gonna do this? I have to approach, let's approach from the west. I'm pretty much out of time now. Nothing I can do about it. Cursor 0. Steer point 1. Okay, azimuth full. Sorry, steer point 8. All right. Okay. Steer point 8. I don't know what's going on with my cursor here, but I am way too close and too slow. Back out again. Fuck. I had a perfect chance to get all those targets marked on one run. And jacked it up with the mark points. The problem was you need to ground stabilize the targeting pod first, and I was thinking that that was my first mark point, and it wasn't. Alright, so let's go ahead, steer point 28, and if I cursor 0, there it is. That is on. Bearing to that target is straight behind, of course. Let's at least get one. We're going to be running here real soon. Okay, there's 6. So it looks like I've only got time and fuel for one drop here. We are above both the SA7 and the 13, but okay, mark 82, one single, let's go profile 2, CCRP. Okay, let's roll in. Not steep enough. Music's on. Oh, we're too low. We're gonna get shot. Yep. Shit. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get shot by a fucking SA7. Yeah, there's the AAA. Yeah. Okay, we're just out of time. Yeah, there's just no way to do a high altitude dive bomb with a 7 and a 13 down there because they're good up to 18,000. I've been shot down by them at 18,000. Well, 17. And we're at bingo, so... I had the delayed release queue. I didn't have my altitude right for the dive bomb. You got to basically be almost over top of the field. I could try a toss. Might try a D-toss here. Or just a toss CCRP. Let's try that. And then we're out. Probably going to get spiked here in a second by those 31s. Okay, now we're out. Okay, that's it. RTB. See if I hit it. It was pretty shaky. The picture changes to something for long distance to help you see it. I guess that's that smart scaling. Alright, well that's probably a big fat miss. But I can't imagine that thing still falling. Let's cursor 0. Yeah, let's get back to steer point 9. I have to get going anyway here because fuel. Let's see. Let's see, what's home plate again? 12, 13. That's if I go way up there. So yeah, we're right just about at diversion fuel at home plate right now anyway, so I have to go. As I said in the briefing, the diversion fuel was 3. That's enough to shoot an instrument approach. And that's enough to shoot an instrument approach, go missed, and then go to the alternate and do a visual. Hopefully those 31s don't track me down. Those things are fast. All right, let's do. Yeah, definitely need to do some work on my. Now the high altitude dive bomb was just kind of a pipe dream because with 7s there and I mean, I'd have to be actually releasing the bomb at 15,000 feet to be safe. And that's almost right over the target, so the best option was the toss, the loft, but I missed there as well. So I think the biggest thing that messed me up though was when I was doing those mark points, I wasn't taking my time, and the reason I just kind of lost a little bit of SA there, I really wasn't sure how close I was to the target. I kind of set myself up with an offset there, so I just needed to glance back and forth at my distance to the target, which would have been right here. And I got a little panic there and started getting punchy with the buttons. That screwed me up. Have to ground stabilize the targeting pod there with the TMS right long, and then I think it's right long. It's not short, but it's right long. And then once it's ground stabilized, then the next, then you can TMS forward. If you TMS forward the first time, and you're not on a target, I don't think it's going to give you a mark point. So that's what screwed me up. If I would have got those 4 mark points in there, I could have done better. So hopefully on the debrief it shows I got 3 hits, the radar and then the 2 launchers, which was all a part of this anyway. I was just trying to work on sensors and get a feel for everything. Again, I really haven't done this stuff in 6 or 8 months, seriously, if not longer. So I can get rid of all this stuff now. Need that, and I don't need that. Getting good at home plate now. And I kind of fucked up, pulled too much G there. So bringing back a broken airplane. Okay. Oh, that is actually pretty cool. There is still 1 missile there. But I could have swore it said 0 whenever I was looking at the SMS page. I could have swore it said 0. Wonder if that was because of my hard pull or what. Maybe it wasn't available on that station. I don't know. But I could have swore that said 0 whenever I was maneuvering back there. Alright, so we don't power that off. We can fence out too here. Leave that on. Well, I'm definitely rusty. A lot of heads down. That's why it's nice to go up as like a two-ship or more, so I can focus on sensors and stuff like that, and other people can look around for possible launches and air to air. Alright, don't need that anymore. I thought that worked as a toggle, guess not. So off bore side is 240, 30, 20, 10. So it's 45. The mics are 45-degree off bore sight. Okay, rudder pedals are reversed as far as the brakes, so I have to hold the brakes down. And at the same time, actually, let me see if I can fix these rudder pedals real quick. Hang on a second. Just going to try to do a quick repair. Alright, maybe I won't have to deal with the rudder pedals scooting across the floor now. Cowboy approach. This may not work because the last 1,000 feet is unusable. Let's see. I better hurry up and taxi in because these brakes are going to give out. I just basically... So when the rudder pedals are reversed, you got to turn right, you have to let off the right pedal, or when the brakes are reversed, so turn left, I have to let off of the left pedal. There we go. I need to get parked before the brakes completely go. easy, by the way. Just going to have to be what it is. All right. That should have been off already. That guy. All right. Get rid of the left MFD. Not sure why I didn't get a debriefing, but anyhow, we might be able to do this another way. Defense, support, combat. Okay, well, I got 2 of them because there was just, wait, 3 SA3s. Okay, so I got 1 of them because I believe there was 4. Unless it's repaired already, but I'm trying to, I don't know if the SA3 has 2 radars or not. Well, it's all screwed up now on the screen, so there's no point in streaming anymore. But yeah, as soon as I go into that window, it's all gone. So, but at least we got the radar, and we got 1 or 2 of those SA3s. So pretty good, but just really, really rusty, man. It was not very. I was not very comfortable in the airplane going through all that. Maybe I mean, it's good practice and to have the stuff complex like that, but just wasn't comfortable. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's 2. Sorry, there's a flat face and a low blow. So I hit the low blow, and I got 1 SA3 with the AGM 65. And of course I missed that other one with the Mark 82, but I knew what was coming from the northeast, and I only had 2 120s, so I wasn't going to go up against 2 big 31s. That was it. So I'll have to look at this after it gets uploaded to YouTube and see just exactly how awful it was. So thanks for watching, and I'm signing off. Gotta go fly for real now.